streaming live, but I'm going to have to pause how it works. So, hello, guys, gals, and non-binary pals. Welcome to Burned Over. We will get started in a bit for session 0. Okay, this is Burned Over as put together on the Gauntlet. I am your facilitator, Ferret, also known as Sawyer. I am a void of gender. Any gender pronouns are fine with me as long as they're said with respect. You literally cannot misgender me unless you're being a dick. Don't be a dick. And I am running Burned Over for these fine people found on the Gauntlet. Burned Over is the streamlined version of Apocalypse World. Think PG-13 back when that actually meant something, like back in the 70s or maybe 80s when cursing wasn't just the be all end all. So we have the hard zone that I have written called The Remnant. This is the War of the Worlds after everything is said and done, past the book. This is Avatar if, you know, we were the ones being raided. So let's see how our players have developed their characters for this world and begin session 0 and hopefully get some role play in today. So I'm going to start to shock everyone in reverse character keeper order this time. So please introduce yourself and then your character.
Hi, my name is Will. My pronouns are he, him, and I am playing Carlisle, the Weaponized, a former super soldier in the Planetary Defense Coalition that, somehow beat back the overwhelming alien forces at great cost. But in the intervening years, who knows how long, indefinite amount of time, has become somewhat of a terrifying mercenary, thanks to his mix of bionics and alien hardware and the somewhat unpredictable nature of the AI chip that the military embedded in him.
And which of these zones does he call his place to rest his head if he has one?
He, in fact, rests his head in the mall, where humans were kept as cattle in cages, because he was part of the liberation way back when, and it reminds him of a better purpose and a better time when he was a guardian rather than a killer.
Nice. So yeah. Next in order, we have Orchid.
Yeah, hello. My name is Mario. Use he, him pronouns most of the time, and I'm going to play Orchid. She, her. She's an interesting character and not well known yet among the wastelands of this world. But she found the most interesting books and audio content before the invasion. So she is up to uncover the biggest mystery of Earth itself, and she is the only one that actually knows what happened and why it happened. At least she's pretending to do so.
And which of these locations in the Remnant does she call home?
I think that's the signal.
No wonder she's so unknown. Interesting. Okay. I noticed that you have a. Oh, never mind. I misread that. So let's go on to our most adorable of players, Hiss.
Hi, I'm Puckett. I use he, him pronouns. I am playing Hiss, the critter, in this instance, Hiss is a big cat, sort of adjacent to a panther with vaguely color shifting skin and fur, which grants extra armor, and a tail which shoots armor piercing needles. And well, then there's the claws and the teeth. And well, then there's the rest of it. It's just, if you're very, very lucky and you're very friendly with Hiss, perhaps Hiss will only pounce on you playfully. If you are not, you have several problems. And as far as where Hiss resides, I would like to defer that question until we figure out history, if that's okay.
That is perfectly fine. I will also have wonderful loaded questions for everyone.
I was going to say, do you have any other questions for Hiss?
We will get to the loaded questions after history.
After history?
This is not Malgoth and Visigoth. Stop this. And last but not least, let's hear about Harmony.
Yeah, hey there. I'm Steven, he, him, and I'm playing Harmony the Harrier. I lead a gang called the Grey Choristers, who ride whispering, singing, blazing, and wild battle suits across the wasteland that we have formed a bit of a symbiotic bond with. I mean, there are plugs that plug into things. Yeah, and let me see. Harmony, I should know, is they, them. Let's see. Was there anything else I should bring up here?
How many members are in your gang and where you reside?
Okay, right. I reside question. That was what I was trying to remember. I think that we definitely I have 7 people in my gang, and I think that we have a I think that we're definitely a more nomadic group because we in some sense pursue this entity, the Gray Wing of Death, who I have defined as generous and gives every eternal treasure to those who die, which I imagine is some sort of strange alien creation or creature that wanders this world. But I think if I were to place like where we tend to gather, I think that would probably be I think probably the exoskeleton is where we kind of cross paths with those traveling across the remnant.
Good. And are you okay with us starting with you for backstory questions?
Sure.
Okay, and I think with this, we're going to just, unlike Monster Hearts or other games, we're just going to ask all the backstory questions that we would like, person to person.
Yeah. So yeah, let's see here. Which of you did me and my birds swoop in and save? Was it Bookish Orchid?
Yeah, sounds good.
So you're the worm, like I guess like are you familiar with these strange like alien mechs that me and my gang ride around in, or like is this something outside? Is this like something something you see as a new discovery?
No, I know all about them. It just doesn't work as it's intended. So if I fix something, it is fixed. It just doesn't work as the aliens intended it to work. So if something's wrong with them and I repair them, it's not my fault. Not at all, because I know all about everything that is somehow related to the aliens. I know it all.
Well, I'm giving you, I'm writing, you write down 8 checks plus 2, right? I tell them what to write down to double check.
No, you write. I believe it is. Let me check.
Oh, no, okay, yeah, I write. Sorry.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think that which of you can I consider a genuine friend? I mean, is it the cat? Is it the cat?
I don't think we're enemies, but I'm not sure that you'd consider me a friend just because I look at your birds. And I don't look at them probably like you'd like me to. I look at them kind of like toys.
Okay.
Is that fair?
Yeah, that's fair. Does Carlisle want to take the being my genuine, someone I consider a genuine friend then?
You run around in the aliens that destroyed the world and killed all of my friends.
Yeah, but to be fair, I was like 12 when I started riding in this thing, so you can't hold that against me.
Not rationally, no. You know what, you can consider Carlisle a genuine friend.
Cool.
Because I don't think he's particularly fazed by the weirdness or anything like that. And indeed, it would be hypocrisy to say such a thing, because doesn't he have alien technology in his own body, after all?
Do you believe that the gray wing of death is real?
I believe that you believe that the grey wing of death is real.
Okay.
I think Carlisle is obviously going to have a slightly different perspective on everything compared to everybody else, having lived through this period rather than mythologized it entirely. Like, like he was on the front lines rather than kind of like, oh, this is what happened dozens of years ago. So I think that he's aware. I think he believes that there is such a thing as the grey wing, for sure. But your idea of it is maybe not quite right. We've lost sound, Stephen. I don't know.
Maybe Carlisle isn't quite right. So there. And yeah, I don't think that Hiss has called upon me and my birds to get violent revenge for them. So unless you want it to be, unless Hiss wants it to be.
Well, that's history -1, correct?
Yeah.
The only reason I could think of that I would have called upon your birds to give violent revenge for me is if it was a bird that I was just really pissing me off and I couldn't kill for some reason. Which, if you think about it, would be kind of funny.
Did these birds take down the gigantic terror bird that was birthed from the labs?
What if someone was hunting you?
Oh, that too.
Like, too many for you to fight by yourself.
Yeah. Did we take out did we take out your poachers? The poachers after you?
Like I would need help with poachers.
Fuck you, we saved you. Damn it. This is why we're at -1 with you, Hiss.
Expect a cat to be egotistical.
Yeah, it's like you expect me to recognize that? Please. You're a servant and you know it.
Speaking, I guess if that is settled, then Hiss, do you want to ask your backstory question?
So I have a thought. And Will, let me run this past you. Carlisle sounds kind of like a loner, right?
Very much so, yeah.
Okay. What do you think about Carlisle? What do you think about his kind of wandering on the abandoned mall with Carlisle, since cats are kind of loners? You think Carlisle has the best treats?
Yeah, Carlisle certainly does, because he has all of this stuff that people pay him for to do mission, to work for them. But he has very little call for it really in the end. So certainly, I was
Okay.
wondering if perhaps we could, that Carlisle, because you're not what cats were, right? You're a different thing. You were changed, and you've somehow been changed, or over time, or whatever.
We've
right?
all been changed.
Yes, but I think that Carlisle sees something in Hiss that he sees in himself.
We're both weird,
We're
and
both
neither of us
weird predators.
exactly that have been changed by, well, who knows what?
Mm.
Bioengineering, mechanical engineering, maybe both.
Yeah, I don't even know if it was us or them that did it, right? When it comes to you, but
So,
either way,
weird cat, weird warrior. Makes
Yeah.
sense. It's a very weird mall.
Yeah.
So, Ferret, that answers your question about where Hiss kind of hangs out and calls home. So here's one for the table. Have you given me praise?
no. I know how arrogant you are. I don't give you praise.
Dick. Could have started with history 3.
No, since they give you the treats, it's only history 2.
They don't stack.
Oh, darn it. All right. So, Orchid, have you given me praise?
Yeah, I think so. Because besides the aliens, you're the most fascinating creature walking Earth. So that's obviously something to maybe even worship.
And Harmony. Just because this kind of sounds like something that you would have done at one point, just to annoy me, have you given me praise? Like, what a good kitty.
Yeah, I totally have. I was being sincere.
All right. And then that answer, I'm not going to ask the one about which one of you raises my hackles, because
Well,
I don't
you've
think
already
any
got,
raised
you've
my
already got the
hackles.
answers. So
Yeah.
you
don't-
don't need to.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm good. Good to go.
Sweet. So Orchid, ask the questions you want to.
Okay. So first question would be, which of you did I cheat for one of my artifacts?
I'll take that.
Okay. That is a -2. Interesting. Which of you do I treasure more than any artifact? And from my perspective, that would be Hiss.
Wow.
Hiss the lap cat.
I will accept that as a yes.
Better have a big ass lap if you think I'm a lap cat. Or like 2 or 3 people sitting on a couch somewhere. Because, then I could like be a lap cat for like 3
Yeah.
people simultaneously. But
Well, maybe I've got one of those satellite dishes rearranged to be a basket for you, so you can have a nap.
oh, like a papasan chair.
And since the first question is also open to more than one character, does Harmony want to have been had an artifact and cheated out of it? And if not, there's
Is it?
Yeah.
Can it be as more than one character?
Yeah, and Burned Over, there are most playbooks have a question that can be answered by more than one person.
Okay, I thought it was just that that they don't care much about people.
Like that, if you don't want to answer this, then it will default to that.
Oh, okay. What are your artifacts? Books. Yeah, like I could see you having stolen this weird alien helm from us.
Decent. So we have,
After we saved you.
yeah, you've stolen from 2 people. Damn. Or cheated them. Jeez. And
Well,
like,
no, it's for research purposes. It was nothing personal. It's just for research purposes, so that we can fight back the second wave of the aliens to come. So, well, really
I
nothing
understand.
personal.
It's what it has to be.
Research whether or not this lance will hurt as it stabs into your belly. The answer is yes.
And then we get to the most important questions from Carlisle.
So, Carlisle is pretty much an unkillable, superly humanly strong, fast, tough machine human that has lived longer than I think some of you will have been alive, probably maybe all of you, and I think has a reputation as being a, you know, who you go to when you definitely need something killed, no matter what the cost. So with that in mind, and I think that like he looks human, but like there are definitely like bionic parts, and as he gets damaged, you know, it heals up in a weird way and then it comes back. With that in mind, and I'm going to go in character keeper order. So, Harmony, are you afraid of Carlisle?
Nah, you're basically like harpsichord over here, only I can't climb inside you and ride you around. Unless that's your thing.
Cool. Hiss, are you at all afraid of Carlisle?
No, you give good scratches.
Okie dokie. And Orchid, are you?
I definitely am, but you won't notice because I can hide my true feelings very well.
I think I would just assume generally that people are afraid of Carlisle because he also occasionally does things that he doesn't mean to do.
And you wander around with some sort of weird ass panther cat, so you know that doesn't help.
Okay, now I have a loaded question for everyone. So does anyone want to go first with their loaded question?
Sure.
Okay, I think Hiss got there first. Hiss, who is the closest ally Hiss has human-wise? What incident bonded you together?
Is this players or PCs or NPCs?
NPCs.
NPCs. Human. I believe it's that Weasley character in the market. He has a musty stink about him, like wet mold. Yeah. I know what I call him in cat language, but I think in human language, his name is Percy.
Gotcha. And is he Weasley just to you or to everyone?
He's Weasley to everyone but me because he knows I will crush his throat in my jaws and basically crack his throat like an egg.
So what incident bonded you together?
I got cut as I was going through some wreckage, and he cleaned the wound and stitched it up. I probably would have just chewed my paw off.
Okay. I believe Orchid is also up for their loaded question. What location have you yet to plumb for treasure, and who is willing to help you do so?
Well, that's I think that's pretty clear. That's the library of the ancient, because there's the hidden knowledge, and I'm sure there is this sort of red button that destroys all the aliens, some sort of code. I don't know, like we have just to inject into one of the alien ships, and then all of the alien ships fall down from the sky or something. I have some infos on that, but well, I need the actual code. And well, I've got a bunch of people helping me with that. First, I thought of Carlisle, then I thought of Harmony, but they wouldn't really do it. Well, they were too expensive, basically, to hire. So I guess I have.
All I asked was for you to give back the thing you stole from me.
You don't. You
Yeah.
don't even know it was me.
As I said,
Just
too
rumors.
expensive.
That's just rumors. You don't know anything, really. So I think maybe that's. I'm not sure. You want to have an extra faction.
An NPC, another faction, like however you want to make this. Yeah.
Okay. So I think there is some ex-miners guild around there, and they're like pretty typical, like the hard tough guys, not really speaking much, working hard all day, really labor intensive people. But if you sign a contract, it's pretty easy for them to get you what you want. They have their ways, especially if it involves digging. And maybe maybe they're like some sort of some sarcastic, so they're called the old Rusties or something like that. And they um, they inhabit like the lowest human health level of the library. They are like sort of the last defense against whatever's down there.
I have I guess since they're an ex-miners guild, I have a ironic name, I guess. The Lucky Canaries.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Perfect. Oh yeah. And you can guess because they have this weird fashion idea of wearing a lot of yellow, which is not exactly practical for the kind of work they're doing.
And I think I know the second part of this question already, but do you trust them?
Of course not. Well, sort of. I trust them with the work they're doing, but they're douchebags. Yeah, none of them is actually worth anything besides helping me out.
So you trust their work ethic, not them.
Exactly.
Gotcha. Carlisle or Harmony?
Sure, go ahead.
Okay. Harmony. Who is the most beloved by the Grey Wing of Death who does not ride with you?
Oh, I think that it's over in just remembering their names here. Yeah, over in the Cradle of Life, there's a merchant, Madame Arachne, who runs a kind of what she calls a sleep den, which is a kind of VR space. She gathers people's memories.
What is your and your gang's personal relationship with her?
I think that I think that we are suspicious of her. Like we serve like the that we kind of in doing battle ultimately further the Grey Wing, but I think that we don't entirely understand what the Grey Wing is, and I think that Madame Arachne has some knowledge that she's keeping from us. Like, because effectively, like, I think most of us started this whole Grey Wing of death nonsense, like when we were like preteens, and now we're adults still following this kind of faith we created like like 10 years ago.
So it's like we're growing up with your own like personal language with your friends, then finding out this weird adult speaks it fluently.
Yeah.
Okay, that's creepy.
And yeah, and actually, I also forgot to tell you, did you want to know the three, because I'm supposed to name 3 NPCs in my gang, so did you want me to let you know them now?
I see you have them written down.
Yeah.
Make
Okay.
I will fill them out and get to know
Cool.
them better
Okay.
throughout between sessions. Yeah. And finally, for Carlisle, who out there is dangerous enough that you'd not want to deal with them?
Hang on, let me quickly look up the names of the families in Lazarus. I think I do not want to deal with Moray, spelled like the eel, who is, I think another weaponized, but one who was become a miniature sort of warlord, gang raider type, you know. I don't think Moray was someone that I knew before, but is definitely of a kind with Carlisle.
And I guess this answers the follow-up of what reputation do they have with others?
Oh yeah,
Warlord,
Yeah.
gangster.
yeah, warlord gangster. I guess they have the, you know, everything. Most things about Carlisle are the threat that people are worried about, whereas Moray, it's the history. Like all of those terrible things that Carlisle could do, he has done.
Yeah. Okay. With those questions done, I think we're good enough to start session 0.5 unless anyone has anything else they want to do. Because if we are good, we have 2 beginning of session moves, I believe. First, let's start with Harmony's beginning of session move.
Yep. So let me give a roll over on the roll for your party here. And that is an 8. So let me I believe that means I get to ask one question from my end. This is, I should note for people viewing, Whispers of the Grey Wing, that effectively I hear the Grey Wing and it gives me information. Where does the Grey Wing of Death hover?
Ooh, I think the Grey Wing of Death hovers over the signal.
Cool.
And I believe Orchid has a leadership role with that lovely cult of hers from the books. Have you rolled Orchid?
I'm just trying to figure out how that works because
Oh,
I
look up
can't
the
see-
Monarch playbook to find out how devotion works, I believe.
It's
Or let
also
me-
just on the second
Oh.
page of the basic moves handout.
Ah, true. It is.
Okay.
Devotion, yeah.
But yeah, if your
Roll,
followers
plus
are
cool.
secure or stable, yeah, roll plus cool.
Okay. Oh, +2. That sounds good. Okay, can somebody row for me? Oh, yeah, okay, I blocked it. Sorry. And there we go. That's an 8. Which
Okay,
means...
so you use all your devotions but one want.
Mhm. So can I remember there being a list of wants in the
Your
apocalypse.
wants for this you have a cult. Their wants are teachings. Their devotions are comfort and worship. It's a
Okay.
bit different this time around. So they basically will be there when they are in want. They want you to console them with your teachings.
Okay, perfect.
Okay, and with that done, let's. Does anyone want to frame a scene? If not, I think I can hard frame a few people together.
Hard frame sounds good to me.
Okay. So I think we will. With the devotion at the devotion as the or the devotion with the mixed success and the gray wing of death hovering over the signal. I think we will start at the signal, and I believe that what are your teachings, Orchid? Is it about like how to defend against the aliens? Is it about your theories on the aliens?
Well, that's a really wild mix of like basic conspiracy theorist kind of thing. So basically, everybody that runs an organization is part of the alien conspiracy. So the aliens, they came here, ruined Earth, and installed some leaders among the humans. And those leaders are basically, they have some sort of parasite implanted by the aliens, and they have to follow whatever the aliens command.
I'm going
And-
to X card that.
Okay.
I've dealt with my stepfather dealt with a conspiracy theory like that, so it
Okay.
touches a bit too close to home.
Yeah. Okay. So is it like the whole the aliens are the actual leader thing?
It's the aliens being body swap kind of things. It was
Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
What if
Um,
the aliens have just like subverted leaders with bribes and offers of wealth and power?
Like if there are like quislings or like betrayers to the human cause, yeah, that's fine.
Okay. Yeah. So basically, they sold their loyalty to the human race just for wealth, and maybe there's some sort of promise that the once the aliens come back, they would take those humans onto their spaceships and bring them to the glory paradise planet kind of thing. Okay. So the thing is, but I know that well, I've read, and one of my teachings is that the aliens are very vulnerable when you have like a certain mathematic problem, which makes at some point their brains or their ship's computers explode. I'm not really sure which it is, but something would go wrong if you confront the aliens with that mathematic problem. They can't solve that. Just that is overwhelming to them, and they have basically to give up and go back to their home planet and go like relax, and yeah, they just can't deal with earthly mathematic problems of some scale.
That makes sense. I think I know how to set up the beginning of the scene then, if you're okay with that.
Okay.
Yeah, I think like with your like Harmony is and I think Harmony, you're at the signal because of the Grey Wing of Death hovering over it, I assume.
Well, of course, we are battlefield ravens.
Yeah. So I think today there is so your followers, Orchid, have decided to put on a show of their devotion to you. And for the most part, it seems to be going well. Like they have, like I imagine these kind of high school style posters of, like the aliens came from this locale, like the early like history kind of stuff. Like this is where they came from. This is what we know. This is where they like these are the people we know betrayed the human race to all this kind of stuff. And then it gets to the almighty algorithm. Find the algorithm, the correct algorithm, and destroy it all. And
I've got this big ass poster of Albert Einstein and the relativity theory, because that just looks, it's like this crazy old guy and all the numbers and symbols around his head, and that is some sort of altar for my cause.
Yeah, I think there are people gathered to who are paying for this knowledge. This I think some are paying for the knowledge, some are paying for just the novelty of all of this in their lives. But there's these three huge whiteboards, and people have all different kinds of algorithms and mathematical problems written on them. But as Orchid is walking towards them, you see three of your followers, one woman or one femme, two mask, beginning to like argue over the placement. It's like, is this an A or the alpha symbol? Is this an A or the like? Look, this is very important. If we don't get this right, the algorithm will be completely flawed. We need to know which to put into our calculations, and it's getting heated. And one of the masculine one, more mask seeming ones, like backhands another of the followers, trying to, violently prove that his symbol is the correct one in this problem. A few people jump back at the signs of distress amongst your followers. What do you do, Orchid?
I stand there and I have like some sort of megaphone, and I'm just yelling, "Silence! You all! You know very well that we have these groups to research all the mathematics there are. And we're not here to argue about it. We're presenting what we found. If you do not have a proper solution, go back to your people and research it. Come back here once you've solved it. This is not the time, nor is it a place for disturbance.
It sounds like you are trying to charm them into believing your words, don't you think?
Yeah, sure.
Then roll a 2d6 plus cool. And this system, every time you make a roll, you mark what you roll. Then after you've rolled 3 different times, you mark an improvement. So basically 9 total rolls gets you an advance.
Is there an assist move?
Yes, there is. There is the help and interfere rules have both been greatly enhanced.
Yeah, they're actually useful now.
They're more useful than just handing out numbers.
Okay, I would like to help.
Are you in the scene?
Well, consider that there's that nice, Orchid went out of their way to make that nice basket for me. I'm kind of like just sleeping in that nice basket with like one eye partly open, flipping my tail of death because the noise is annoying me.
Yeah, and let's. I think Orchid can make the attempt, so you don't need to help before it happens. So
Okay.
let's see if you need to help later. But yeah, I love that Hiss is on the scene. So roll your cool, Orchid.
Oh yeah. I'm already at a 12, at the 13 even.
Yeah. So as nice as you are, Hiss, she doesn't need it this time. So yeah, they look downcast, and I think like the feminine one helps up the one who was slapped down, and they just look ashamed that they were fighting over the algorithm when they should be working together, and they start gathering together. Like, one of them is working at the problem with A, the other one's working at the problem with Alpha, the third is like, keeping track of like what one produces versus the other. So they are now gathering together better. But I think there is someone but Harmony, you notice as like this is happening, you notice someone in the crowd taking note, looking at these people, but you recognize predatory glances when you see them. This person is here probing, looking for something among the satellites, among these people. What do you do?
Hey friend, it seems like you're a real fan of math. I honestly can't really say I care for it, numbers and all that.
Numbers are useful. They help you get with food, with drink, with money, with life. It's very useful to know.
Yeah, but like that's what fingers are for. Like, once I get to 10, I don't really usually need more. So what you writing? What you writing?
They will pull a. I think this is not a notebook, but like you notice one of these sort of rare artifacts that, or like we would notice as like a superior public or digital assistant, like like if a BlackBerry was a holographic touchscreen. And he slides off whatever he was writing to clear the screen so you can't see it.
Is this? Can I read this guy? Like I'm trying to make it to escalate things to the point where it feels okay.
Yeah, read them.
Cool. Oh, and do I also mark weird for that beginning of session move?
You do.
Okay. And that is a 7.
Yeah, so you can hold 2 and burned over to read a person on a 7 to 9.
Okay.
Can I assist there?
You can, and if you assist, you can roll for it yourself. What is I think your sharp is actually better than Harmony sharp, but first you need to well, actually, it'll depend. Yeah, you can help. Roll to assist.
Okay. And
Because
I'm
you could
basically
also just give me +1 hold on this.
which
Yeah.
is what I was looking at. Yeah. Yeah, and I'm basically just doing the same thing, but now that Harmony's talking to somebody, it's like, wait, Harmony helped me once, even though I'd never admit it.
So roll plus history.
That is 6 on the dice. My history with Harmony is 1, so that is a 7.
Yeah, I will give you +1 hold. You may ask 3 Harmony.
And you also get to mark one of those XP boxes under history.
Yeah, you mark the help box.
Cool. So yeah. Yeah, what are you thinking of doing?
They are thinking of sabotaging Orchid's cult.
How do I like how do I see that in the fiction? Just to clarify my actions here.
I think like, as they're moving the like their hand away to see the. I think you know how you can like quick scan words if you read fast enough. Like you
Yeah.
get, and you kind of can grasp what they say, but you see just attack protocol written down, or you think you see it as it's being skimmed by, and as the hand moves, you see like their coat opens up a bit, and you see this this gun that is. I imagine it is sort of like a lesser version of Carlisle's plasma ray, but it is a area gun. It is used to take out lots of people at once.
Yeah, I'm poor decision here, but I'm gonna like put like kind of grind the end of my spear in the ground a bit. And I'd say like, look, I know Orchid is Orchid about all the math stuff, but she still owes me one, so I can't really let you fuck things up here, okay? I think I'm making some very polite threats.
Are you going aggro politely?
Yes.
I mean, southernly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what the grinding of the spear butt into the ground was for. Like I'm drawing attention to the fact that I'm holding the spear as I say he shouldn't be doing this. Oh, and that's a miss.
Oh, but you do mark aggro anyway.
Yep.
Okay, so I think the person grins, and like they have the oh, I forget his name from Fallout 4. Nick, the
Nick Valentine.
Nick Valentine hat, the detective hat, and pulls it up, and I think you see this ooh, that's when you see the disguise, the slip for no, let's not do the disguise slip. I think that's when you see the like under like there's this gang which has a like sort of like how the the Lucky Canaries have yellow. This person has red hair, like blood red dyed hair under their hat. And I'm going to call them the well, seeing as that we have a lot of different wings and birds in this world, let's call them the Razorhawks. And I think you know exactly why the Gray Wing of Death was hovering over this place, as the Razorhawks don't travel alone. And you start realizing, you look around and you can start picking out from the movements who here is a practiced warrior and who is not. You notice there is another gang in your turf, or in this turf.
Oh, the remnant is my turf, Ferret.
And Orchid, I think that's when we will, as this hard move is going, or Hiss, since you're in this screen, you're in the scene, you're looking down, and I think you notice Harmony striking this proud warrior stance, and that's when you notice like predator movements in the crowd. This is no longer just a herd, but a herd in trouble.
They think they're predators. I think it's time to show them what an actual predator is.
What do you do?
I'm going to attack the person who smells most wrong.
I will say you may now help and interfere with NPCs. Do you want to interfere with this gang's plans?
Oh, absolutely. Orchid made me this nice, comfortable place to sleep. Anybody attacking this place to sleep has annoyed me.
To interfere, please roll plus sharp.
Nuisances. I just wanted to lay here and nap. That is 5. Sharp is 1, so that is 6. Does anybody want to help?
Yeah, sure. This is my home, and I have a real close eye on everything that's going on. And as I do know that his eyes are way better than mine, I just have an eye on his. And whenever his reacts strange or unexpected, I know something's up.
Yeah, feel free to like call out to your cult, like, everyone like huddle up, or
Get down, something.
not like get down. I'm assuming it's more like, we've solved a problem, everyone hug it out kind of thing, do something peaceful.
Oh yeah, well I have I'm all about mathematics, so I have some sort of code for literally everything we're doing. And I'm just yelling out, "It's time for our victory dance," which is basically a term for draw your weapons, guys. If you have if you have some.
Okay, so 2d6 plus 3 with your history with Hiss.
That's a 9.
Ooh, so yeah, Hiss, you get a +1. So I will say that I will give you a +1 for that. So with your interfere, let's see. Interrupt someone. Oh, it's interrupt is rolling cool, not sharp. Help is rolling sharp. Dang. Well, in that case, I will allow with that help roll, I will allow Orchid to roll cool for you, as that is one of the help moves. So please roll 2d6 plus your cool, Orchid, and that will replace Hiss's roll.
Okay. There we go. Yes, 12.
Ooh. Yeah, so you got a 12 to interrupt Hiss. So you take plus forward against the Razorhawks, and I'll be nice. Do you want to be in their way, or do you want to be ready for what they're about to do?
What's the difference?
Fictionally, it'll change your positioning.
I'm a cat. I'm always in the way.
Yeah, so I think Orchid, you see this person pull out what is like a what would be like a devastating pulse SMG or something of that nature, and then Hiss, all like 500 muscly pounds of Hiss, headbutt nuzzle rubs into this guy's knee, knocking it out of place, sending him sprawling to the ground, the gun falling out of his hands. He was the signal runner. The rest of the Razorhawks are waiting for their signal. This guy has taken one harm due to cat nuzzles.
Okay, that's perfect. This place is out in the wild. And I think we have to deal with strange beasts occasionally. So we will have some sort of defense. I'm just wondering if, well, this is maybe not just all a big bunker underground. Maybe it's some sort of fences, maybe some electric fences or something like that. Can we have that?
Yeah.
Like a satellite dishes. Maybe it's like, they've got like the buildings, like the science buildings, like behind the fence, like if you go down to an actual satellite dish sort of thing.
Yeah, these definitely had the buildings to, these satellites were, sending signals. They were not like, they couldn't just do that without something to send the signals from. So yeah, you can definitely have like underground bunkers and things of that nature here.
Okay. Then I think we have some sort of like hidden traps on the way, because we couldn't afford actual real good defense. So we just thought whenever people come in, we try to hinder their vehicles and maybe have one or two pits dug somewhere with some spikes in it or some real basic defense mechanism. And now I'm just ordering all of my cultists to fall back and go into defense position. So let the enemy come, let them lose a couple people, and then attack them from where from safer places.
Gotcha. Let me check. Now, Orchid, do you maybe want to read a situation before this, or do you want to act under fire to see how well your people respond?
I feel it's already gone too far to read a situation. I feel like we're actually in the middle of the heat already.
Okay.
So I would go act under fire. Oh, that's also plus cool.
Ooh, yep. Good thing you have that as a good stat.
Yes. Oh yeah, nice. And I've got an 11 on this. I'm rolling really good.
Yeah, your cultists get to like they immediately start. I think they even like get everything up. They've practiced for this. It is just like all these fire alarms or fire drills have paid off as they quickly hit off. In Harmony, you are left with your gang and the Razorhawks and Hiss with one very angry, cursing cultist or Razorhawk as he is like scrambling for his gun to try and start the signal as the rest of the Razorhawks look around confused. What do you do?
So like my gang, like we're basically out in the open, kind of interspersed with the Razorhawks then. Okay. Yeah, I think that I probably, let's see, can I do this with do battle or guard someone? No, okay. So I guess what would I yeah, I guess I kind of like shout for Harmony, Requiem. We need to clear the area and get to the instruments.
Okay, so you're trying to get to your suits, I assume.
Yeah.
Okay, I think that I think either be it would be a sharp roll or a cool roll. Do you want to, or you know, it's going to be a cool roll either way. Do you want to interrupt them or act under fire?
I feel like acting under fire makes more sense.
Yeah, I was saying like interrupt wise, it would just be probably you're ready for it by getting the suits on before they can react. I would say, but either way, it'll be the same thing. I think.
No, my sharp is higher. Sure.
Oh no, it's a cool either way. I mean, so.
Oh, okay, right. Okay. Sure. Okay. Yeah. Roll cool. I assume acting under fire probably makes more sense here.
Gotcha.
And that's a 5.
Ooh. Yeah. So I think there aren't just cultist Razorhawks and your Grey Wings. There are a lot of onlookers. There are a lot of people who are just here for the exposition symposium that was being put on, and they get in your way. They
Still don't understand it.
They are just what do you mean?
We thought they'd be serving food.
Sorry. But like they like I think this is like the onlooker effect. They see someone screaming, they're trying to get close to see why instead of run away. And so that they're blocking you from your bikes. You are and I think that I will put the narrative to hiss before anything bad happens or anything more complex happens. As a hiss, there is a human that is screaming and getting close to a very dangerous smelling gun. Orchid has given great leader commands to their people and their herd to get them underground, and the other humans, the morass herd, is pushing against the birds. What do you do?
I snarl as loud as I can, figuring that should scare some of these smelly meat sacks away. And this one that keeps trying to reach for this dangerous gun, I'm going to bite him hard.
Do you want to let's roll this into one roll. Do you want to go aggro on this guy to try and stop him from reaching for his gun? Or do you just want to rip into him and use your violence against him as a threat to go aggro against the crowd?
I want to use my violence.
Okay, I will use a move from Apocalypse World called Sucker. You just deal your bite's harm to this person.
Which is 3.
Since he's already taken 1, he dead. He's an NPC.
Okay, so may I narrate how this plays out?
Please do.
So I grab him by this arm and I just pick him up with my mouth and I start flinging him around. You know how cats like pick up a toy and shake it like they're trying to break its neck? Yeah, that, except it's his arm. And the problem is that I'm really big and he's really not. So what winds up happening is his arm and his body go in 2 separate directions, meaning his arm stays in my mouth and his body goes flying with lots of blood and screaming.
Roll to go aggro against the crowd.
Happily. Well, that's a 4. That is absolutely terrible.
Oh, that is. And as the rest of the Razor, yeah, Hiss is normally at the mall, so I don't want to just Carlisle, would you have been worried about Hiss if he had not been there when you woke up?
No, not at all.
Makes sense. Poor Hiss. So yeah, Hiss, what's your armor?
2. And one of the armors is mimetic kind of texture and color shifting camouflage.
Oh, nice. And this gang will be going against you with 3 harm weapons, but since they are a small gang and you are a 1 cat, this is 4 harm. So you take a grand total of 2 harm. Please roll 2d6 minus 2. I believe you have a mutation that may change this roll.
Did I take? I don't know if I took that one. Let's see. I took deadly, tough,
No, you did not.
shielded, and altered.
Yeah, so this was psi harm. You'd be fine, but or better. But yeah, please roll 2d6 minus 2.
All right, so that is 7 minus 2 is 5.
Ooh, Hiss, this is bad damage. This is like
So I already took 2 harm, correct?
you did. You are at 6 o'clock.
Okay.
Countdown.
Okay.
And so I think your mimetic shielding comes up. You do weather the blast, but I think like this really rockets through your nerves, and you fall unconscious for a bit. As your mind resets from this assault.
Did I take any more harm besides that 2 harm?
Just narratively you are unconscious.
Okay.
And I think as the Razorhawks start revealing that they are a threat, yes, Orchid?
Yeah, well, Orchid has a plan B always. Well, we have these crazy huge satellite dishes, and I prepared them to be parabol reflectors. So now we're some sort in some sort of desert, right? And I could use the light to. Well, I would like to have them set aflame, but I know that that's maybe too bold. And I just want to blind everybody approaching my territory.
Okay, use the satellites. I will say this. Do you want it to be strong enough that if you direct the light on them, it would be de-harm heat by frying them?
I'd love it. If it's not too much, yeah.
Please
I'd love that.
do battle. Roll plus hard to attack with your satellites.
Do I have the +1 from earlier?
From the aid roll or the
Yeah, I don't remember precisely which row it was, but at some point I got a +1 if I go against them.
That was yeah, you did. If you acted, so yeah, take your +1 forward to this.
Cool. So it's also a +2. Oh, that at least an 8.
Okay, you get 3 bids. They get 1. Type your bids into the chat. I will type mine, and when we're ready, we will reveal them at the same time.
Sorry.
This is look at the basic moves. Do battle.
Oh yeah.
You
So the highlighted.
Yeah, you can pick them more than once. You don't have to pick them. You don't have to spend one, and I mean you don't need to just spend it once if you don't want to. So yeah, and I will. I am ready when you are.
Just a sec. Okay, spelling. Sorry, I'm ready.
Okay, we hit enter on 3. 1, 2, 3. Ooh, intriguing. So yeah, you will inflict heavy D harm. I assume you're guarding Hiss.
Yeah, exactly.
And you're fighting them as a gang. You don't need to fight opportunistically. Do you want to?
Oh, okay.
Unless you're attacking the Harmony's people or the other crowd.
I know. No, I'm focusing on everyone that is attacking his. So it's basically the razor.
You want to fight for
Um,
blood more, or
yeah, I think I'm willing to go real bold, and
Okay.
maybe use use multiple satellite dishes.
Okay, so I think we see just a sweeping pillar of sunlight heading towards these people. It washes over them. There is immediate sunburn. There is immediate just hair shriveling as this heat ray bashes over them. I think it'll fly towards the camera, and we will scene transition as away from this after the heat ray to see where Carlisle is as this I think the camera blinks, and like whatever was the blinding light is now gleaming off of something in the scene with Carlisle.
Just having a sandwich. It's a nice
Yeah.
pleasant day.
Yeah, you know what? Sat on the roof of the mall, which has been, obviously transformed by various alien structures over the, during the course of its occupation, but still recognizable to someone who saw it as a, classic mall. And he sat on the rooftop drinking from a samovar, and he'll see off in the distance the the flash of light like on the horizon.
I think have you seen Orchid use these satellite dishes as weapons before?
Has Orchid used them as satellite weapons before is the question, I suppose.
Well, yeah, I had some test runs, and maybe you assisted.
Yes, while I was poking around to see who stole my handgun, my old comrade's handgun from the supplies. Yes. No, yeah, I think he looks over it and smiles and says, I hope that worked.
And as as that's going on, let's see. Let me check this NPC list again, and I think Percy is going to be showing up. You just give me a sec. Yeah, you're on the roof of the mall, and you just hear this jingling of different types of pots, pans, different bits of ephemera and collectibles on this man on this wagon. I imagine he has something that it was what a mule once was, as it has now evolved into or been biospliced into what it is now. And I'm imagining almost a Bahir from D&D, just like this many-legged, long mule with just packs upon packs on it, and maybe it even has like arms going out of the side to hold the packs up now.
It's got packs on packs on packs.
Yeah, lovely lady packs.
Carlisle will lean over the roof and just knock over a stone so that it falls to the ground and clatters.
Percy jumps and looks up, expecting to see Hiss. Is slightly relieved, then immediately afraid when he sees Carlisle.
Yeah. What brings you to the mall, Percy?
I got something I thought the cat would like.
Yeah. Wait there. And Carlisle will, I guess, just step off the roof, right? That seems like a sufficiently weaponized thing to do.
I like to imagine instead of following your descent, the camera, like you step, we see your foot falling off, and the camera pans to Percy, just, and you're suddenly in frame.
Yeah. Well, Hiss goes his own way, but I can hold on to it for him if you like.
I don't know. I mean, we have a relationship, and I want him. I want him to know it came from me. I mean, he knows my smell.
Do you think I will take credit for it? Do you think I would care?
Oh God, so are you reading him or going aggro?
I guess I'm going aggro, but I don't think I'm particularly intending to really push him so
Yeah,
much. It's
I
just
think
that's
you're
the
going
default
aggro
way.
with your reputation more than a weapon.
Yeah. That is a 13.
Yeah, no. I don't think you would steal it. I think you would keep a perfect reputation going. I mean, you have a stellar reputation going. I mean, no, you're fine. You're cool. Here, let me get it. He'll start grabbing things from his mule, and ooh. What is your favorite prey to hunt, but is also, I guess, what's your favorite prey to eat, not to hunt?
I was going to say, are we talking about for fun or for food?
Yeah, like what is your favorite food prey?
Meat. Like actual meat, not like bug meat, but meat. You know, something a nice, satisfying mouthful of meat. So, you know, sometimes it could be a pack animal, sometimes it could be a stinky, smelly human who just got incinerated by a satellite dish, which I'm really actually looking forward to. I imagine my nostrils are kind of like flickering a little bit, even though I'm unconscious. Like,
Do you so yeah, I think Weasel will or Percy will sorry, there's someone nicknamed Weasel in another game of mine.
really?
Yeah,
There's
very awkward.
yeah. So we're not talking about cheeseball, wheezeball. We're talking about another weasel.
Yep. But Percy will start pulling out just I think quail, like actual non-bio-spliced quail, like a small flock of them, let's say like 8 full quail with and
So one quail would barely be a mouthful, but it'd be a delicious mouthful.
and I think they have been defeathered and debuckshotted.
So I don't have to sneeze, and I'm not going to chip a tooth. I tell you, Carlisle, this might just you might not have the best treats today.
But who do you think holds this now? But in any case, Carlisle will look at them and say, where'd you find those, Percy?
Oh, well, I had to deliver something to the Lucky Canaries, and I went down a few flights. One of the went down to one that isn't human occupied very often. Had a crack to the outside, heard some chirping, had a shotgun on me, figured why not? I mean, haven't seen these things before. I figured with the one I ate, Hiss would like him even better.
Well, from what I remember, they are mighty good. Nah. You leave them with me. I'll make sure that Hiss gets them. Maybe, who knows? Maybe he'll even share some.
Do you eat?
I think Carlisle just smiles and says, not when people mind their manners.
He will, like, he'll start putting the quails in a basket. And I think put a stick in the basket's handle, and like hold the stick out to you. stay as far away as he can.
You gonna be okay making it back?
Yeah, I got my shotgun, got my mule. Everything will be fine. I mean, lucky canaries are many things. They don't hamstring who brings them supplies.
True. Well, thank you, Percy. And who knows? Maybe I'll go bring these to Hiss while he's out on the hunt. Save him some time.
He's out hunting. This is perfect basking weather. I would expect him to be in the sun, just chilling. Again, like glint of the of the satellites again.
I think in Carlisle's viewpoint, there's like a sort of like heads-up display, like big circle around it, and warning lights going zzz around the glowing spotlight behind everything.
Yeah.
I think he's enjoying the sun.
And Percy will nod and just thank you for not eating me, thank you for not killing me, thank you, and just keep being. He will be as affable as he can be until he's out of earshot, or assumes he's out of earshot.
I would like to ask Percy something actually before he goes. Now that I think about it.
Oh dear.
Percy, you travel the wastes. You hear anything about them? Any remnants? Anything left?
And he looks. He gives you a look you're not sure what means on a human face. Do you want to read him?
Yeah, sure. That's plus sharp, isn't it? Which
It is indeed.
Plus 1, 2. But I get a failure because I roll snake eyes.
Well, you still mark sharp anyway.
Cool.
And
is it misses that you mark experience for?
No, anytime you roll now, you mark what you rolled if it's unmarked. When you get 3 marks, you mark 1 improvement. When you get 3 improvements, you get an advance. Yeah. And so basically, it's not. You need at least 9 different dice rolls to get an advance.
Okay, cool. Yeah.
So I don't have to give you 1 on a miss anymore.
Cool, but you can choose to.
I could.
Just be a terrible answer, maybe like something bad.
Yeah, I'll let you hold 1. Be prepared for the worst.
Yeah. Cool.
What do you want to ask?
I want to ask him. I think that Carlisle kind of is like still on mission slightly, like he's still waiting. But he doesn't think that they're ever coming back, but he's always looking to see if they are. So, anything of the invaders that might be left on because some of them are left, right? Like we know that there are alien remnants on this world still.
And he did come from the library, a floor that was not human occupied.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So what has he seen anything of the invaders?
Well, read a person is a list of questions.
Oh, I see. Sorry.
Yeah.
I've been playing Alan's Monster of the Week hack, where he's replaced all the list of questions.
But
with
it could be how could I get you to reveal what you know of the aliens or what you saw?
Yeah, how could I get you to tell me? the truth?
Promise you won't shoot the messenger.
I think as he looks hesitant, I think the look of fear in his face, I say, oh, all I want is information, Percy. Information that could be valuable to me.
I found this in the nest. And he'll pull out what normally is a small device, but extends, and it is like a python that you stick in the ground, and it'll then elevate into a signal. This is an alien contact signal. They're trying to get they're trying to contact something outside of our atmosphere.
Carlisle will take that off Percy and nod and say, I owe you one, Percy. You ever need any help?
He looks slightly aghast, but also very chipper. It is a weird combination of, oh, this is terrifying for other people.
Yeah. I think when I picked up the Xeno device as well off him, like, like eyes nictated and things, like, and scanners popped out of my skin and things like that. Like, so just reinforce that I'm not human anymore. Yeah.
And before the scene ends, he's walking off. Do you want to open your brain about
Yeah, why not?
this new piece of great.
I only know these moves from Plus One Forward podcast.
So roll plus weird.
But I'm not doing well. I got a 4.
Okay, at least you get an improvement dot right now. So
Yeah.
You hear from as you press a button and the device begins, like, beep, beep, beep. You hear from inside the mall, beep, 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 and several signals, their sticks start elevating out of the skeletons, out of the skulls, rising in order in the mall. And I think the one satellite on the mall begins to rev up and point to the sky as we cut back to where the action is again. Harmony, you have made it to your machines finally as the crowd dispersed with the huge swath of sun scouring the ground. You see many of the Razorhawks just charred and sunburnt. Their skin, at least, yeah, they look like they could model in a KFC bucket now. What do you do?
Like when you say like charred, like are they just dead or?
Oh no, they are
Okay.
in pain.
But so I guess what I was asking is like they're still up and like looking for a fight.
They are still up. They are a few things. They are up.
Okay.
They realize they're probably not going to make it out of here alive, and they have a mission. So they are very dangerous and still looking to fight.
Okay, cool. Yeah, in that case, I because I do want to just explain like how I imagine these things look, because I think that because they are weird and alien, like when we're climbing in, it's not like just like a hatch opening, it's like an actual creature's mouth opening up with like some trails of membrane like coming off as the maw of like the machine opens, and it kind of squelches a little bit as we like hook ourselves into place.
I have this horrible image of like these like slightly smaller than motorcycle sized heads that open up their mouths. You stand in the mouths and like they envelop you with a suit.
Yeah.
Oh, oh, this is like the Empress stand from JoJo, but worse.
I'm just coming off of that extreme meat punks. That's why I was thinking this.
Oh dear gods. This is horrific and I love it and I hate it and I love it.
Yeah, and I think that they kind of make, as we sort of like I kind of sing out to the rest, we're going to keep the signal safe, see if Orchid finally decides to pay us. Probably not, but yeah, we're gonna go into battle.
Do battle against the Razorhawks, please. Roll plus hard.
Yeah.
I will inform you the Razorhawks are a 3 harm, 1 armor small gang.
Cool. And that's a 10.
You hold 4, they hold 1. As you are a gang, and they are a gang, you do not get any extra bids.
Yeah.
Which weapons are you using, by the way? Your grenade launchers or your spears?
I think my rocket launchers are probably a little bit overkill here. I think we're probably going in with our spears. Like, we don't want to damage too much of Orchid's stuff, even though that might feel good because some people still haven't forgiven you, Orchid.
That's fair. Yeah, roll. You are using your lances then, so you're a 3 harm AP 1 armor gang.
Yeah.
So yeah, you choose 4, and I will choose. And since they did seize initiative last time, I will say that they have 1 extra hold in this combat, so they will hold 2 against you. And I will.
Yeah, so now we're evened out on the saving each other thing, Orchid. Now you just owe me for stealing from me. Good on you.
I am ready with my choices when you are ready with yours.
Let's see here. Is his still in danger?
Hiss is still in danger.
Let's see here. And you said 4, right?
And let me know when you're ready, and I will be. We'll count to 3. 1, 2, 3. Yes. Ooh. Yeah. So your gang will take a grand total of 2 harm. You will inflict a grand total of 4 harm because your weapons are AP, I believe.
Oh, although we do have. Forgetting, does that carry over? Because we do have lightweight layered battle armor.
Yeah, that's your gang's 1 armor.
Okay.
Yeah, that's why I was counting it, because I saw your options of lances and armor.
Okay. So that.
That's I counted as that they fought for blood once. So that cancels out one of your fight defensively. So with your armor and your fight defensively, that's -2 harm, while you've suffered 2 total.
Okay.
And you guard hiss. So hiss, you will take, I think, 1 harm total from that. Let me read the guard to make sure. I think it just
So does that mean that I remove 1 harm, or
no, that you suffer 1 harm. That you're going. So with your because wait, you have because you have armor 2. They would normally be inflicting 4 harm on you, so this guards it down to only 3 harm, which with your armor translates to 1 harm.
so I add 1 more harm to my
Correct.
claw? Okay.
And then Harmony, you roll 2d6 -2, and Hiss, you roll 2d6 -1.
Okay, and that's a 5 for me.
Ooh. And for Hiss,
Sorry, I always have to look for the tab in Zoom. That I rolled a 4, and you said it's 2d6 -1, so that makes it a 3.
ooh. Well, you both take 1 more harm than you had been. So Harmony, you're at 9. Hiss, you're at 10. Hiss, that means that the damage is quite bad. I need you to act under fire to stabilize.
I thought I was unconscious.
You are unconscious. Stabilize just means that your wounds don't get worse with time passing.
Okay.
That is plus cool.
Alrighty, so I'm rolling plus cool there. So that's -2. That's 3.
Oh dear, poor Hiss. Well, I think that you're no longer unconscious.
Hold on a second here. I just ticked off another box on my way to getting a level.
Yeah, you are no longer unconscious, but you are in a lot of pain.
Well, I'm a cat, which means I'm annoyed. So if I'm no longer unconscious, does that mean that I can act?
You can act, but since you are not stabilized, every action is going to risk dealing more harm to you.
Okay.
Gang is dead, by the way.
The gang is dead now?
Razorhawks are dead. Harmony speared them all with the they were fighting until the last to
And as a reminder, what does 2 harm to my gang look like?
that is no casualties, but they are in heavy need of medical attention. Your gang has 5 health levels basically.
Cool.
So
It's probably Requiem. She goes a bit crazy, goes into a bit of a craze during a fight.
yeah, probably the Vanguard.
It's beautiful, but it's also a bit worrying.
Yeah, not bad.
And we don't have a medic, do we?
We don't.
Alrighty.
You are the richest cat. I do not think you need to worry about finding a medic.
Alrighty. What options do I have to stabilize myself at this point?
You can either get someone to help you
Mhm.
with a help roll,
Mhm.
You can try to act under fire again, but that would be an action, so you would take 1 harm to attempt to stabilize.
Mhm.
Or you can literally do nothing and wait for someone to the narrative to spend enough time to clot your blood.
I mean, I
Nice.
was thinking of getting out of my mech if they're all dead and then attending to Hiss, trying to. I care about Hiss, even though he's ungrateful.
I'm a cat.
I'm still you're a very good cat.
I'm gonna kind of limp over to Orchid and nuzzle Orchid. Like,
Yeah.
Orchid, you're gonna limp all the way from the battlefield inside the facility just to not accept
actually,
my help.
I was already inside the facility. The
Oh
battle
no,
went outside.
you were outside with the battle. That's where you nuzzled and got shot.
Oh,
But this is clearly your home, and you're welcome here. And I'm just wondering, my cult has the comfort tech. Can I use that somehow to comfort
You
Hiss?
can. I mean, you guys have all this technology about aliens. Do you have like their healing technology too?
Yeah, I just
I mean-
don't see how I can use it because
Use the roll to help Hiss with your history.
don't get me wrong.
2d6
I'm
plus 3.
kind of okay with dying and coming back with one weird, but
We'll see how this goes with the 2d6 plus 3.
okay, I'm rolling.
With all the ways these rolls have been going, this is probably going to be
Oh.
a 5.
Yeah, it's a 6 with a because I rolled a 3.
Okay, Hiss, you took 1 harm from limping over, as that was an action. And they try to comfort you, and you are very much comforted and out of pain as your life becomes untenable. What do you do?
so life is completely untenable at this point.
You are at 12 harm because you took 1. You were at 11 from moving to Orchid.
Yeah.
And Orchid, don't forget to mark your help XP. And then with the trials of comfort, I'm saying they can't make it better, but they will make it so that you do not suffer as your life becomes untenable. But
Okay.
maybe what they do is allow you to come back weird with this medicine they give you.
Okay. Weird it is.
Just inject you with some alien blood. It'll be fine.
So here's what's going to happen. When you come back weird, I'm going to say I'm going to offer you a deal. How about that?
Ooh, I love deals.
You can for every barter you give Orchid's group, they can have injected you with something that gives you 1 mutation point.
I can get 3 mutations out of this?
Yes, you can, as long as they're weird ones. If you want to go to 0 barter, you can.
I have no barter.
Orchid, you're at 6 barter. And I think that like this is when Hiss's eyes open, as like we see the cat stop breathing for a moment. People think that this is going to be the John Wick moment of the TV series. Then Hiss's eyes open, and I think we see Carlisle's like reflection walking towards the signal. And Harmony, you want to do something before the game ends?
Yeah, actually, I think I'm going to count this. That like I'm probably communing with the gray wing of death over as Hiss is like on the edge of the other side. But I feel like we can roll that into my opening move.
Yeah, and I think that and Harmony, you definitely see on Hiss's tail the representation of the gray wing of death watching over, and I think like looking angry at being denied as it flies away.
Oh, I might have to kill Hiss.
Can I say something in that situation?
Please.
Because it looks like his was about to die, and then his opened his eyes again, and I'm like all theatralic about it. I'm like, oh, I've read in ancient books about this. We have to build a pyramid for our new god. This is clearly a new level of evolution. I've read in ancient books about it.
And I think there's someone, like one of your followers has an ancient cat fancy that just happens to mention Egyptian pyramids in it. I'm finally being listened to.
Harmony is just like putting her hand in her head in their hand.
The funny thing is, literally same. I was actually doing that just then when Farah was talking about an ancient cat fancy magazine, talking about Egyptian cats and pyramids. Oh,
Yeah.
Since like his is a good cat, but like I don't think Harmony particularly wants to worship him.
Okay. So I think this will be the session end. There is a session end move, which I found out about, thankfully. So we will start with Harmony.
Yeah,
Harmony.
because it's really deceptive because they don't mention it, but then you have to go like, oh, but it all stays the same from the old game unless they say otherwise.
Yep. So Harmony, does anyone know you better?
Oh. Yeah, I think. I think Hiss does.
Hiss, increase your history with Harmony by 1.
And what happens when like it increases past the threshold though in this game? Because they don't have.
If you mark 4 or -3, it resets to 1 or 0, and you mark an improvement dot.
Ah, okay, cool. So that makes it very powerful now.
Yes, it is worth 3 rolls. So Hiss, who knows you better?
I can't
Carlisle
just say
knows-
everyone,
knows-
can I?
Well, Carlisle knows that you like quail.
I can't just say everybody, can I?
You have to choose one person.
Oh God, this is terrible. Because Will's right. Carlisle does know that I like quail. Well, Carlisle can guess that I like quail. I haven't actually eaten the quail yet.
But who held your head when you were dying, Hiss?
And this is what I'm thinking. It's either Harmony, because Harmony was the one who like pointed out the threat in the first place, or Orchid. And I think because of the mutations in the barter, it's Orchid.
Orchid, you go to history +1 with Hiss and mark an improvement dot.
So this is history 0 then, or is it
History
1?
1, because positive
1.
resets to
So-
1, negative resets to 0.
Perfect.
I'm forget. Does the harm? Never mind.
Does the harm move mark a box, you mean?
No. I was wondering if like the harm still affects, still causes people to know you less now.
It does.
Okay.
Yeah, but no, when you harm someone, they know you better. When you heal someone, you know them better.
Right. But technically Orchid didn't harm Hiss. She just couldn't heal Hiss.
Yeah, Hiss did narratively harm. Orchid did not heal Hiss, but was there to make the life not be untenable. So didn't get any history. there.
Yeah, I was just suddenly remembering that, but then I was like, oh, but they didn't actually harm or heal Hiss. They just kind of stood there as Hiss died.
Yeah. So Orchid, who knows you better?
I just feel that's Harmony because I've been going crazy on this thugs earlier, and I'm pretty sure Harmony didn't expect me and my cult to be fighting back at all. Just run and hide, maybe.
I mean, yeah. I mean, technically, we basically did kind of view you as just a bunch of nerds before
Yeah.
this. I mean, we still do, but
And finally, Carlisle, does anyone know you better?
No.
Who knows you worse?
I think everyone knows me the same, to be perfectly honest.
You have to choose one person
Yeah.
to know you worse.
Oh, I have to choose one person who knows me worse. Okay.
remember, like, effectively, you're also, once they drop down to -3 or -4, they do get to mark improvement. So,
Okay. Well then, Orchid knows me worse.
Okay, Orchid, mark improvement and reset to
Yes.
0. I think that means you get an advancement.
yeah.
I do.
Yeah, so
Oh wow!
thank you
Wild.
everyone who's watched. I will turn off the camera and we will do debrief alone. Thank you everyone.